Hey, this is Hans from Request for Music, and in an earlier update from Dex, I included a source input so you could exchange your normal standard op with an external source. So that would mean that you could use, I don't know, my birds module, for instance, and put that into the op. But that made me think that I actually want to also exchange or to be able to import other waveforms, because now we only had this sine wave and then square wave and two other wave types that you could use by switching to them by using those wave switches. But I wanted something else. So actually what I did was I improved the draw wave module. So there's also an update for that, where you have this DEX output or DEX export option actually, so that when you create a wave in draw wave, you can actually export it and then you can import it into DEX. So let's see how that works. Let's say that I'm going to change this to this bend saw wave, for instance. Since it's I've got that loaded into my A waveform in draw wave. Normally you could actually do a B one as well and input something there, and then you can do a morph wave that goes in between those. But I start off with my A wave, so just the bend one. If there's no folder in there, and I'll just to make sure that there isn't, I probably won't be able to combine that in my OBS. But as soon as I press my DEX, it's going to create a new folder, a new DEX waves folder, and I already put that stuff in there on my other machine, so I won't be able to I won't have to do that. But the DEX waves is already automatically created for you in your documents folder, be it on PC or on Mac. And so if you save that, then afterwards, of course, I could have a look how that wave looks in my scope here. And normally, of course, my my DEX module is just outputting these sine waves to begin with. So let's get the gain up and maybe change this to a better view of those waves. So do it all the way up. So now I've got just this sine wave, obviously, but you may have noticed that there's now this small W button in here that you can click, and as soon as you click that, you get a list, because it's looking at this documents draw wave or DEX waves directory that has been created. So let's say that I want this exact bend saw wave that I otherwise would have created. I'm going to put that in, and now let's take, of course, the reverb off. So you see that it is indeed that same saw or bend sawtooth. But this now, of course, can be played polyphonic and with all of the effects from DEX. So, and you can download those versions. Let's just now do something like I said, like I have this A wave, this bend wave, and let's just do something to it that I haven't done to any other wave before. So I'm going to, first of all, morph, so I get something like this. And then I'm going to edit even further by selecting this piece. And I'm going to include some noise in there. So I could just do something like this and then go into that same edit area and smooth it out a bit like this, and maybe then go back to sort of draw this part of the wave again and draw that part of the wave again, so it's not that something like this. And let's just see if I can export this. Maybe I'll do it a bit different here and draw it a bit different like this, and maybe get rid of that part, and then select everything in the editor and boost the level a bit, something like this, maybe attenuate it a bit, oops, something like that, and then send this out. And I'm just going to call it wave whatever. So it's in there, save it, wave whatever. So it's saved, and now go over to my decks and click on this W button again, and there it is, wave whatever. And let's look at that. Let's take the mix up first to see if it's indeed that strange kind of wave. So you see all of the other portions of this, because it's looping, it obviously changes a bit, but there you have it. So I can do that, I can use my mix, of course, and this can be edited by other stuff. So if I also take something like my parabola, which actually is one coming from this as well, where I have this parabola wave, that one. So maybe let's take the B wave and take that all the way down, so it's not that much of a problem in the view. So this is the wave that is coming out of the operator 2 now, and you actually see that there's a star in the button to show you that it has been loaded or overloaded with a wave. And you also might have seen that the switch itself is now automatically changed to number 5. That means that you still have the option to go back and use your normal sine, but the other wave is in there, will also be saved. So as soon as you go back, you still have that wave to work with. And of course, I can now use the other wave and modulate the other wave with it. So you have extra options. So let's change this a bit and change the way that the envelope is handled. So do something like this, and press X and give it more reverb. And maybe I'll have to fade this out a bit towards the end. That was not good. I needed to change my decay, of course. Or my sustain level, actually. So yeah, that's the new update that will be in the store, hopefully as soon as possible, where you can download or you can exchange the actual operator with any of the waves that you've created from Drawwave, and import those in there and just do whatever you want with it. So I hope you like that, and I'll see you back in the next video. So cheers for now. Bye bye.